just off the chart compared to what a lot of other people do when they take time off. They go to an island, they take it easy. But you're out on a boat in the middle of the ocean, trying to help people. Just walk us through a little bit of how you got started with that and how that worked for you.
It's kind of a long story, I think, and obviously it would take maybe a real sit down for me to explain everything that went in and what happened and what needs to happen later on and how I'm going to try to be more involved with it. But to try to make a compressed picture of, I think we all remember that brutal picture of the island, the 3-year-old Syrian kid that 2015 was found in the coast of Lesbos, and how impactful that was. My daughter was close to 1 at that time, and so I obviously questioned myself, what would a father have to go through to risk the most precious thing in the world for him, right? Which is obviously your kids' lives. And obviously that stuck with me for a long time. Last summer, fast forward a couple summers, I met Oscar Combs, the founder of this NGO in Spain that worked actually at Lesbos, and that was working the Central Mediterranean for 2 more years after that. So I met him and kind of invited him to visit my basketball club up in Girona. We have all these kids and to speak about what they do as an organization. Obviously afterwards we spent a lot of time together that same night, and I told him, look, I wanna be involved with you guys. I wanna be a part of it, really be a part of it, and go through the whole volunteer. But this summer for me it's impossible because I had the European Championship last summer. But this summer, 2018, I don't have a national competition, so I'm going to be able to embark and volunteer for a couple of weeks, and if you allow it, I'll obviously be an honor. And yeah, we set it up, and I think you guys have seen what we encounter, and obviously one day we can sit down and talk a bit deeper on what the ins and outs and what happens and what doesn't happen. But yeah, I think that's how everything played out, and it became that situation.
The fulfilling feeling it was for you once you got to do it, and was it scarier than you thought when you're out there on the ocean? And then
you don't think about your feelings. That's the one thing. You don't think about yourself when you're out there. When you see somebody in such tragic situation, in such desperation, you don't think about your own feelings. It takes time for them to come out. So you first of all, obviously you're trying to save a life, which we were thankful and lucky to do. Then you're witnessing a situation that's happening daily in the Central Mediterranean, and how other humans treat other humans, which is really frustrating. And you're probably the last person to think about yourself. You don't think, you have other people around you looking out for you and see, okay, how is he doing? How is he reacting? But you don't think about yourself. So I haven't done it to this day. So far, it hasn't had any breakdowns. They were afraid I could have some, but everything that's come out has been positive, so it's good.
On a totally different note.
Yeah.
How good does it feel to be back with the organization talking about making the playoffs again? You've got this new cast of characters with how frustrating last year was for you.
Yeah. Just after any year, right? When you start a year, no matter if last year was good or bad, it's like, okay, let's. What do you need to do today to become a great team? Regardless if it's a great year. If you're a great year and you come back and you're like, well, you know what, we're living on credit, it's going to be okay, we're going to win. It's not going to be easy. Everything, what matters, it's today and how well we all going to play as a team, and me as a player going to do my job that I need to do for us to accomplish the goals that we have as a team. It's that simple. Past, future, I think it's a little irrelevant. We can reminisce on it and talk about it. I think it's good and it's all fun, but at the end of the day, it has zero impact on what you need to do today.
Marc, when you have a age discrepancy from some of the veterans, and you got Jaren Jackson Jr. coming in talking about Ozark, I guess, for like a half hour today during his interviews,
It's a good show.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear.
It is a good show.
Does that help the team to have that, to kind of get all
I think
types
so.
of minds
yeah.
in there?
Yeah, I think you got to look at it the positive way. I think he brings young guys, and Jaren does too. Breath of fresh air, new swag they call, and it's fun, and I love it, and I think we need it. Obviously there's many different ways to do things, and having Jaren around and other young guys, it's good as long as they have the mindset of winning and improving and the growth mindset. And what's best for the team. I'm all for it.
On the flip side, how do you guys go out and review and prove that? I mean, obviously there's still gas left in the tank.
Every day in practice. First, you earn your teammates' respect. That's the first thing you need to do. Show it in practice every day, daily. Your coworkers. Then you go out there, and then you show it to the rest of the world. But it's simple. You got to earn it every day. There's nothing given ever.
When Mike talked to you, I guess maybe in August, about the players getting together in LA, and you're quite a ways away. Did you feel obligated to fly over? That's a big inconvenience for you in the middle of your summer after having gone through what you've gone through.
It wasn't inconvenient because I set it up. So it
Oh, you
wasn't.
set it
Yeah. So it would have been rude to set it up and not show up. So
you set it up?
yeah.
What was the thought process?
We needed it. We needed it as a team. We needed to see each other in the middle of the summer. Summer, like we talked about, I didn't have a national team, and talked to Mike. I said, like, look, I need you to call a couple guys, and because he's more comfortable doing that than I am. And he did it, and we all met in LA. It was great. It was great. I think everybody showed up, and it was a few days that we had good runs. Everybody got to know each other in a different atmosphere, and without the grind of the season. So I think we all enjoyed it.
Had you tried that before?
No, it was my first time.
What made you decide to do it?
First, I didn't have the national team. Normally, at that time of year, I'm getting ready for Argentina or Serbia or Croatia, and so I'm like, look, you have time. You need to do the things you need to do to be successful with your team. So, talked with Mike about it. He did one, I think, in Vegas early on, and I'm like, okay, in August, I think we should meet as a team, and we did it.
I think Garrett said that was the first time in his career that he'd seen something like that, where everybody gave up, part of their summer to come out and work out, and he said it left a good impression on him. For you to have guys like Garrett now and have some of these veteran guys, high basketball IQ here, everybody showing up to a voluntary thing like that, how motivating is that going into a season like this?
For the next 7-8 months, your number one priority is going to be the team, and obviously your family is first. But other than that, the team is going to be your number one goal. So you cannot put everything aside for this, period. It's going to be hard for you to succeed in this team, and we all very invested. And as you saw, and we saw in August, everybody showed up. Everybody, was committed, and now it's time to, more. It's like we said that the past, like August was past. Now it's what we're going to do tomorrow or today for the team.
Dylan said he thinks that you and Mike are 40. And Jaron said that he was joking with you about taking your kid to school, and then he realized you actually were taking your kid to school. And yet, is it the fact that they're young kids, but they seem to listen, and they're not immature kids? How important is that to making this thing work?
Well, they want to get better, and that's huge. And we need to mold them into the players they can be, and because they have really a lot of tools, maybe tools that I never had. So their ceiling. I always felt like from other players, the ceiling normally it's higher than mine has ever been. But to be able to reach it, we gotta help them reach that ceiling, and through the ups and downs. And when they have a great night, leave them alone and let them have their fun. And when they don't have a good night, have their back and help them. So if it's Dylan or Jaron, whoever the players are not having a good night, we're going to be there to support them and continue to mold them into the players that they can be. We're going to make sure that we develop those guys to fulfill their potential.
Without delving too much into the minutia of last year, your role kind of changed after the whole Fizdale situation. You took on a leadership role on and off the court. Did that inform some of the decisions this offseason, and just the way that thing went, and you really kind of trying to put an arm around some guys and with the way that things went?
You always try to analyze, the things that you need to do better, and you got to be brutally honest with yourself in order to do that, and you got to be okay with the answers that you find, right? So one of the things that I maybe too harsh on some of the guys, and for whatever reason, so me doing it differently this year is going to be important, and I think it's going to be important for us as a team. It's going to be important for me, and how approach those moments that we're going to hit, because it's never going to be or not always going to be perfect like we want it. It's going to be crucial for our success.
How was that paired off with you and JB, with the idea that now he's first time he's really actually fully been in charge from the beginning of the season through training camp, and he's obviously going to lean on you a lot as a leader.
Yeah,
How is that relationship between you guys?
it's been normal, good, like it was last year. Like he throws ideas and tells me what we're gonna do and explains everything, and it's been really good, to be honest.
This can be you can opt out after this year. Do you assume you'll be here beyond last year? Do you think this could be your last year here, or do you even think about it?
It's kind of like we were talking about last year. The future is it's good to talk about it, but we don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, my commitment to the city has been proven through the ups and the downs. So I cannot promise you anything or tell you what the future is. What I can tell you is how much I'm gonna put in this season and how much I care about the success of the team.
Mike said there's a commitment, feeling from both of you to try to get things right, restore what this franchise has meant.
Yeah, and the presence for me, like when they talk about grit and grind, I see Zach and Tony, and what what we as a team created. It's our responsibility to pass it on and to make it grow, make it a. So without those two guys, grit and grind does not make sense. So for me to pass it on and explain by showing, not just talking about it, but showing it on the floor and every practice, it's really important.
How much nicer is it, Mike being back and healthy, and says he feels better than he ever has, really?
Nobody's happier besides him than me to see Mike healthy and see him moving the way he's moving, and see him smile. That nobody's happier than me. Trust me. Maybe his wife a little bit, but and then I come.
Marc, coaches mentioned you guys want to get back to being a really elite defensive team, like top 5. What does that look like? What's it going to take from each of you? Mike mentioned it's going to take individual commitment, but more than anything, defense seems to be about discipline and focus over 48 minutes. How do you really establish that, especially with young guys who may or may not be known for discipline?
Well, preparation. You got to prepare both physically and mentally for whatever is your job that night, and then leadership too. I got to do a better job of leading defensively the whole team from behind, because I'm normally going to be behind everybody. I got to talk, call coverages, everything. All the X's and O's that we can do, and the schemes are sort of irrelevant, because I think any scheme can work if we all, really move at the same time and everybody understands, the ins and outs of it. So a little bit of everybody's part. I think obviously you say responsibility and discipline, obviously, and knowing that sometimes we're gonna get scored. Like we're not gonna win games 60-4. Like they're gonna score around 80, 90, maybe 100 points, sometimes even more. But defense are meant to be broken, and how we deal with those teams, and as soon as we can attack the other team on the other side and get over it, the better.
Mark, speaking of that, it seems like this team has been made with the additions that they brought in to bring in guys with high basketball IQ, guys that you really prefer to play with, and your reaction to the type of players they brought in and their mindset going forward.
It's a repetitive sentence. Like I think I don't understand why everybody's surprised about having high IQ players or co-workers. I think that's what you all prefer, right? You guys want to have co-workers with high IQs and they care about the success of the company or the team in this case first. So everybody's asking me like you guys are shocked that what we prefer to have in this team. And yeah, but I'm very happy with the roster. I'm very happy, where we at as a team, and very excited about the season. I feel the healthiest that I've been. Mentally, I feel really, really good, and can't wait to start the game. The job tomorrow.
You were talking about defense. JB and Chris Wallace have talked a lot about how
Mm-hmm.
you guys you want to go counter to maybe what the trend is in the NBA with the Golden State and Heat. Is that something that excites you, that you're doing something that's counterintuitive to what everyone else in the league's doing?
Golden State, it's a very underrated defensive team. Obviously, their offensive power, we all know about, but defensively, they know what they want to accomplish, and they bait you to it. So, just because they're a really good offensive team, they don't mean that they defensively. Obviously, they can afford more mistakes or letdowns, but they are a good defensive team. And Houston, they do a lot more switching, and maybe sometimes they did a little different, but they were also with Coach Bezdelic, like they were also a really, good defensive team. You can feel it when it's a good team or you're just missing shots. So we got to do our part, and there are nights that we got to adapt, and we having a great shooting night, so why not overshoot the other team? But the defensive side of it, we always got to be there. There cannot be any letdowns defensively, and we always going to be able to counter our defense. So we have a great night, great. It's going to be 100-something to 100-something. But we don't have a good night shooting, we still got to feel comfortable that we can win that game without having our shooting.
Mark, can
Hi.
you talk about Yuta Watanabe? What part of his game impressed you most?
He's been injured, so he hasn't been able to play pickup the last couple of days since he got back from the FIBA games. But I've heard great things. Everything I know that he can do a little bit of everything. So I'm excited just to see him and can't wait to have him on the court.
You had so much experience on the international game. Have you seen any Japanese or Asian play like him before?
No, he's unique. For what I heard, they call him the special one. So can't wait to see how he plays and how he moves and how he reads the game when all the action is going to happen in front of him. I want to see him, and I want to see also how he plays defensively.
You came to the States when you were in high school when
Yeah.
Paul was drafted. How important is to come to States in a younger age? Instead of waiting for 25 or
Well, my situation was a little bit different, obviously, because my whole family moved here when I was 16, and that kind of made transition a lot easier. And then I got drafted by another team and got traded here, and that's where it's a little bit more bizarre. But yeah, it made it easy for me, because I had my family around me. But when you go into a different society, a different culture, I could not think of a better place than Memphis for it to be, because people here in Memphis really embrace you for who you are, no matter what you've done, what you haven't done, how much you accomplished, how much you haven't accomplished. If you care about the right things here and you show people that you're ready to work, they will embrace you. So I'm sure that if he does those things, there's not going to be any issues.
You had mentioned kind of defensively, one of the big things that you always like to do is talk on the court, communicate, which didn't happen enough last year.
Yeah.
Were you excited to see Jaren, for example, in summer league was just constantly a lot of talking. Does that kind of stuff say, okay, look, maybe we got something here?
Yeah, and can't stop just because I'm here now. He has to, everybody has to feel empowered to do that, and it's everyone's responsibility to communicate, and you can see, when the side conversations that happen during pickups, or locker room, like everybody's talking about basketball, and okay, well, when this happens, I'm going to do this, and all those little chemistry things that are really important. If you get ahead on that, that's a lot of work that's crucial to winning. But if you can, do it now, it takes a lot of time.
From an X's and O's standpoint, you guys can do so many different. You have so many different guys
Mm-hmm.
on both ends that can be pretty versatile, can defend multiple positions, can play multiple positions. Do you get kind of excited thinking about some of the different possibilities for lineups that you
Yeah.
can throw out there and really?
I care about everything. I mean, I get excited. I'm excited overall. Offense, defense. I'm excited just to be able to do what I do for a living, to be healthy, to have my back. I'm just thankful for everything. I'm very excited for a lot of things. So, not only lineup. I don't know. It's gonna be a good year.
Take out basketball. Does
Yeah.
Chandler seem happier this year? Does he seem in a better place mentally from what you've been around him?
Why shouldn't he be happy?
I don't know. He said he was in here earlier. He
Yeah.
was saying he just feels just it feels like he feels a little more unburdened than he had
Yeah,
previously.
we need Chandler to be the best player he can be. You know, forget about contract, forget about the previous 2 years. We got to get out of Chandler whatever he can give us, and the best Chandler. And we cannot always make him live up to the expectation of that contract. Because if we do that, we're not going to get best out of Chandler. Obviously, I cannot tell people what to do. I'm just going to help Chandler become the player that he needs to be. Hopefully, he plays all the games that we need him to play, and he becomes an important player for us because his skill set, his shooting, his passing, his playmaking, his size, we can use nightly. So if we can keep him on the floor nightly for whatever time it is, that's going to be a big win for us.
Mark, how does your garden grow?
Now we cleaned it up. Before I left Spain, I cleaned it up, everything. Let the soil rest, and I'm already thinking about next year where change the pattern a little bit and get some of the old trees out because they over the years they grow and they don't give you as much fruit, and I gotta put them somewhere else and allow more sun to get in.
Now, there's no relationship between moving out the old trees that don't bear fruit and you own at age, you're going to be 34 this year. You're still a pretty young tree, you think?
I've still got some fruit in me. I'm still a productive tree. That's what you. Yeah, I believe so. I'm very confident about my skills, ability, and more importantly, the will. I know that I want to, and as long as I want to, I know I can get it done. So I'm very excited. I was telling everybody all the time, and that's why we've been in contact all summer with everyone, and why we set up the mini camp in LA. It's because I'm excited, and I think we have an important job this season coming up.